the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome. I am Tinsai Gabiao with Pulse of Africa News, bringing you the latest stories and updates from across the continent. Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune received African Union Commission Chairperson Mohamed Ali Youssef in Algiers on the sidelines of the 12th Oran process. President Tebboune congratulated the newly elected chairperson and reaffirmed Algeria's full support for his mandate. He urged closer collaboration between the AU and member states to confront rising political instability, saying Africa must speak with one voice to resolve conflicts and defend constitutional order. The President called for stronger continental unity and coordinated action to address Africa's peace and security challenges. President Tebboune voiced deep concern over ongoing crisis and unconstitutional changes of government, calling for renewed commitment to Africa-led solutions grounded in dialogue, legitimacy, and regional solidarity. Chairperson Youssef expressed gratitude for Algeria's critical leadership on regional issues and called on member states to intensify diplomatic engagement, including through the UN Security Council, where Algeria continues to champion African priorities. He encouraged Algeria to maintain its active role in mediation efforts across the continent. Earlier, Chairperson Youssef met with Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf, where both sides reiterated a shared call for deeper AU-Algeria cooperation to strengthen peace-building, integration, and collective security mechanisms. A delegation from the Economic Community of West African States has visited Guinea-Bissau for mediation talks with leaders of last week's coup. The mission, led by ECOWAS chairman and Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio, came to Guinea-Bissau on Monday to urge the military authorities for a complete restoration of constitutional order. President Bio met with senior officers to assess the situation and reinforce the regional bloc's position on safeguarding democratic governance. He stressed ECOWAS's unwavering commitment and reiterated in the communique issued after the extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Mediation and Security Council to the swift restoration of constitutional order and adherence to the rule of law. The visit forms part of ongoing ECOWAS diplomatic efforts to prevent further instability and ensure that Guinea-Bissau returns to a fully functioning constitutional framework. Additional constellations are expected as the bloc monitors developments closely. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has emerged as more than an engineering marvel. It is a powerful symbol of Africa's ability to reshape its own narrative. Ethiopia has inaugurated Africa's larger hydroelectric dam on the Blue Nile last September in the presence of the leaders from the IGAD member countries. GERD, which has a capacity of generating more than 5,000 megawatts of power, marks the beginning of a new era for the country, placing it at the heart of the continent's green transition. Media professionals from IGAD member states have hailed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam as a symbol of Africa's resilience and ability to shape its own narrative during a visit to the project site. Journalists attending the 3rd IGAD Media Awards in Addis Ababa praised Ethiopia's determination in building the dam with domestic resources, calling it a testament to unity, sacrifice, and self-reliance. Uganda's Ayabre Cinderella hailed Ethiopia's self-financing of GERD, while Kenya's Asha Hamisi said the project reflects Africa's capacity to solve their own challenges without external intervention.
I would have to first applaud your government, because using the taxpayers' money to do this big development, it's rare in African countries. Some countries you don't even see where the taxpayers' money go. You'll never see it, never. But this is really nice, and it will change the narrative on Africa and showing to other presidents to borrow a leaf from Ethiopia.
We don't need someone to come from the Western countries to come and help us address our issues. We are the ones who understand our issues better, and sometimes we just need to sacrifice, trust our governments, and contribute that extra tax maybe, so that we finance such projects which will be beneficial not just for the current generation but for other generations as well, generations to come. This is proof now. You know, people will just hear, oh, you have your own solutions, but you don't know how it can be done. But Ethiopia has shown us the way. Ethiopia has shown us how it can be done, that it's actually possible and it can be done and it will be beneficial to everyone.
South Sudanese filmmaker Gabriel Gatulak Walket described GERD as proof of Africa's potential, noting that Ethiopia's achievements should inspire other nations to pursue ambitious projects through collective effort. He stated that if Ethiopia can accomplish such a feat, then South Sudan, Kenya, and other nations can follow suit.
Availability of this dam, it has already created an image of saying we can. Yes, Africa, we can. Because if Ethiopia can do this, why not South Sudan? Why not Kenya? So as African, let's learn from here that we can create our own dam. We don't need to depend on other countries. We don't need to depend on the foreigners want to come and tell us this A, B, C, D, E. You see, Ethiopia have already done this. Let's watch and learn. We can do this. Let us build our nation. Let us work on ourselves. Let us have belief in ourselves as African. Don't think that a visitor will be the one making sure that you have development. The development has to come within you. That will be my message.
Ethiopia's Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Ambassador Nebiat Getachew, emphasized the sacrifices made by citizens at home and abroad, calling GERD an exemplary African accomplishment built on resilience and national commitment.
I'm really happy and thrilled to be here today. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam took the last 14 years, a lot of work by all Ethiopians, by its leadership, and a lot of commitment from both its citizens who live in Ethiopia and those who live abroad. I believe this is quite an exemplary initiative for others as well. We can say that in Africa, we can envision huge projects. We can start a project and complete it. It tells you the fact that Ethiopia can, Africa can. It's really a Pan-Africanist project in so many ways. It facilitates and enhances the integration process of our region, and eventually it feeds into the African Union agenda of 2063, where we envisage to see an integrated and prosperous Africa.
Beyond Ethiopia, the dam's power generation will benefit neighboring countries, strengthen regional integration, and contribute to the African Union's Agenda 2063, a vision of a prosperous and interconnected continent, he added. The OCP group marked a major step in its energy transition strategy on Monday with the inauguration of the first phase of its photovoltaic program, delivering 202 megawatts of operational solar capacity across sites in Kuribiga and Benuguriri. The event brought together senior OCP executives, local authorities, and members of the press for a presentation outlining the company's progress toward its carbon neutrality targets and its broader industrial transformation. The ceremony was opened by Abdikarim Ramzi, director of OCP's Kuribiga integrated platform, who welcomed participants and underlined the significance of deploying large-scale renewable energy infrastructure on former mining lands. The session featured interventions from Omar Kadir, CEO of OCP Green Energy, Faris Deriji, Managing Director of SBU Mining, and Hanane Morchid, Chief Stability and Innovation Officer. Together, they detailed the program's objectives, technical scope, and expected impacts on OCP's operations and surrounding communities. Ramzi announced that the newly commissioned solar farms, including the 105-megawatt Old Fares plant, now the largest photovoltaic facility in Morocco, have already begun supplying OCP's mining and industrial sites. As of today, and even for several weeks now, we can say that 100% of the daytime electricity needs of the Kuribiga site and the Garantour site are supplied by solar energy, he said. The first phase was completed with a total investment of 1.8 billion Moroccan drams and achieved a local integration rate of roughly 60%. Moving on to business news, Cameroon's National Assembly approved a state budget of around $15.6 billion for the 2026 financial year. The figure marks an increase of 14% compared to the previous financial year. Ministry of Finance Louis Paul Motez said the money will be used to implement the country's development plan and support national security and health systems. This is a sharp increase in the budget because of the creation of a special fund for supporting the economic empowerment of women and promoting youth employment, Motez said. The new budget also seeks to boost exports and economic stabilization measures and mobilize revenue, he added. Cameroon projects an economic growth rate of 4.3% in 2026 compared to an estimated growth of 3.9% in 2025, said Motez. According to the government statement, the growth is expected to be driven primarily by strong performance in the non-oil sector, where the oil sector is expected to contract slightly by 0.1% in 2026. The Ministry of Economy and Trade has announced the official launching of the digital system services for facilitating foreign trade in Libya, part of the Libya Trade Network through the digital platform Tasheel. The ministry explained that the platform serves as an official channel for communication with importing and exporting companies as well as all commercial operators. It gives users access to all rules, procedures, fees, and requirements for import, export, and transit operations across customs, banking, inspection, logistics, and transport. The platform also provides inquiry services and allows users to submit reports and complaints related to challenges facing their import and export activities, in addition to proposing necessary solutions. This aims to enhance transparency and support the facilitation and development of foreign trade in Libya. Moving to sports news, DR Congo head coach Sebastien Desabre has unveiled his 26-player squad for the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025, reinforcing his commitment to stability and form as the Leopards prepare for one of the continent's biggest football stages. The announcement places DR Congo alongside South Africa, whose coach Hugo Bruce released his list earlier as teams making early moves ahead of the tournament, which begins later this month. The Leopard squad includes several players who helped the side secure a place in the playoffs for the 2026 World Cup. Captain Chancel Mbemba is in the squad alongside other key players Axel Twanzebe, Noah Sadiki, Fiston Maele, Mesechak Ilia, and Cedric Bakabu. Since taking charge, Desabre has championed a clear approach based on consistency and form players and balanced profiles. His latest squad reflects this philosophy, blending seasoned internationals with dynamic young talents in what he hopes will be a cohesive and competitive unit. Next, let's check the current weather forecast. Thanks for joining us on Pulse of Africa News. Keep following us for more stories that matter across the continent.